Hi and welcome to the video. This series of videos is going to be looking at the 16th scale military truck from Heng Long. I've been looking at these on YouTube for a while and various websites, and I went to the model show, the London Model Engineers exhibition yesterday, and one of the shops there, I think it's House Models, was selling these for £30, and I kind of couldn't resist it. So in this series of videos, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the truck apart, and I would imagine putting in hobby grade radio control and electronics, and hopefully turning this £30 truck into, well, a £30 toy into something a little bit better. Having had a quick look at one or two other people's videos, it seems that the steering isn't proportional. Well, I'll see to that, and I would like to be able to get the motor more proportional. I may end up, in fact, even putting a different motor in and doing one or two small changes to make it slightly more scale. So without further ado, let's cut open the box and see what's what. If I can find my way in. That looks pretty good. Right, so what have we got here? So let's lay that down. That's stuck on as well. It's always handy to have a knife when you're doing these things rather than pull and tear. Right, so we've got a little transmitter here. It kind of does feel fairly cheap and cheerful. That is definitely not proportional. That's going to be maximum left, maximum right. I don't think that's really a criticism, because at this price point, and given that I'm going to change the radio control anyway, the cheaper the radio control is, the less bad I'm going to feel about not using it. Right, so we've got a little 6-volt battery pack, 700 milliamps, and according to the front of the box, that will have it running for 20 minutes. So whatever I put in there, and I may use this pack because of the size, but it's quite likely that I'm probably going to use something with a high capacity. Oh, that's lovely. Right, so we have the truck, we have the transmitter. The transmitter hasn't got batteries in it. I'll have a look in a minute to see what goes in. Inside, and hopefully you can see that, we seem to have a fairly nice scale steering wheel, dashboard, etc. Nothing in the windows. Well, that's something that I'll definitely be doing. I'll be putting some clear acetate inside there, and I expect one of these videos will be about that. We don't have any mirrors here, but I quite like the way that they move, and that ought to be easy enough to do something to scale with. If I want to, I'll be able to paint things. Underneath, that's a really nice touch. We have proper leaf suspension springs, very nice. We're 4-wheel drive, locked differentials. That's good, with a transfer box in the centre here. Metal chassis rails. I was thinking that I might be able to put a battery between them, but that's kind of looking unlikely. Right, and we have an on-off switch here, obviously for electronics. We've got quite a nice little scale force winch there, and these things on the front, they don't move, but they're painted as if they did. It's because it looks as if we've got LEDs in the front here on the front lights. We don't have any rear lights. That's something that I expect that I'm going to want to do. The tyres are quite, actually they're not bad rubber for what you're paying. The tyres I think are perfectly acceptable. The paint job is nice, it's matte. Glad to see that it looks as if the wheels come off quite easily just with Phillips screws. That's good. So you open up the bonnet there. Right, that's where the battery goes, and the connector will go together. Just as a point of comparison, I thought it might be interesting to compare it with the Toro half track, which I did another series of videos on here, and I think that they're both about the same scale, and to be quite honest, I think that they actually go quite nicely together. Excellent. This is the first thing on the market like this which I've seen, and it seems to come with quite impressive specification. It's very light, especially compared with this one, and I may be adding lead weight just to make it move a bit more realistically. Quite nice the way the suspension goes. You don't have massive articulation, but there's a little bit there. Well, it appears to be made quite well, and I'm hoping that it's going to go as well as it looks, and for this price I really don't think that you can go wrong. So the next videos which I'm going to be doing, I expect that I'll be taking the thing apart first, then I'll be wanting to change the steering mechanism here away from whatever's there and putting a servo in. It looks as if it's going to be quite easy to do that, because this last part here almost looks like a servo arm anyway, so that ought to be able to go in there. As far as room goes for doing everything, I expect, yep, there's loads of room in there, so I ought to be able to put speed controller, servo, receiver and everything within this area here without having to put anything into the flatbed, and that would definitely be an advantage. Okay, now I'm just going to stop the video for a second, get the batteries charged up so that we can have a quick before, if you like, to see how the thing runs on the stock radio control. Having just done a quick charging, this battery here, which is the 700 milliamp hour 6 volt NiCad battery, actually comes with this interesting charger which just plugs into a USB port. Yeah, I put it into the charger for an iPad which charges at 200 milliamps, so this in theory would fully charge in 2.5 hours. I only gave it about half an hour because I just wanted to test it quickly and finish the video off. So I just open up the bonnet, that simply plugs in. Just get it right out, like so, and the battery slots in. When I do the modifications, I might have to lose this battery tray, I'm not sure yet, depends on how much room I have, but I think this is going to fit in quite well. It unplugs itself. Let's try again. Goes that way around. So that goes in like that, and the bonnet goes down. The transmitter just took 2 AA batteries. You have to undo the screw here, and when you turn it on, the red light comes on, so that's okay. If the truck isn't turned on at the same time, I think that this blinks, so let's just check that quickly. you can see that it blinks. When I turn the truck on, the red light goes solid, and you've got lights on the front of the truck. Let's see how it goes. Yep. Well, the steering goes one way or the other, but it doesn't seem to be settling in the middle very easily. Right, so when you're steering, the motor seems to be going constantly on the steering mechanism. The throttle actually is quite nicely proportional. Right, so my first impressions are that the motor doesn't seem to be geared too badly. The radio control has definitely got to go, but I think that we've got something good here to work with, and I'm quite excited to see how this truck's going to go. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful and informative. The next one is going to be taking the truck apart so that I can start to replace the electronics and radio control. Thank you for watching.